Hey guys. I forgot what I was going to say there. How's everyone doing? Like, I've had a shave. Well, not a proper one, I just got rid of the whiskers. How's everyone doing? Oh, what a depressing morning. It really is. Like, really. I've not heard from Vegas, so I'm just waiting for him to message me. He has given the update, though. So I'll play it through this one. The first one's going to be just this one. The thing is, before the case was over, I had edited how many? 13. 13 videos. Obviously, as you can see, they're not all about Kev this time. But I had done like 13 just to... Because it's what I like to do. I like to, during the day, to keep me busy. I like to get the videos edited of all swearing and everything, It keeps me busy. But then obviously when I found out the news, some of them just seem pointless. But I'll still post them. Awareness. Don't stop spreading awareness about these begs. Keep going, no matter what happens. This bloke that's in this courthouse, Kevin's phoned the police on him, is playing a what if game with the police. What if this would have happened? What if that would have happened? You can't really do that because nothing did happen. You can't play a what if game when nothing actually happened. You know what I mean? It's not a crime. You know what I mean? I could say, I could ring, that's me, like me ringing the police right now saying, oh, I could possibly get attacked as soon as I go outside. When there's like a 1 out of 100% chance of it ever happening. It's pointless because nothing did happen. But yeah, he's rang the police on him, the troll, because he's an idiot. But this bloke, I don't know who he is, but he's not. I hate to say it to someone that's spreading awareness, that's hot in the right place, but just made the wrong decisions. But he's not exactly the brightest. I mean, he's right now, he's arguing with Mr. UK TikTok official troll account. Like, literally. It's the guy that keeps posting old videos of Kevin. It's Mr. UK TikTok official _ It's got Kevin's profile picture. But you can tell it's a troll account. It's the one that keeps posting videos about Kevin and Alphabet. So clearly it is. He's arguing with him for some reason. And he's also spreading misinformation as well. It's like he's told people in a video, as soon as he'd started doing this and uploading, and his account went up, with followers and everything. But he's also telling people that Kevin was in court to do something to do with minors. But Vegas straightens that clearly all out. This is seen as Vegas explains what the court case was all about. I might as well. Kevin was in court and arrested and everything. The whole reason why was for threats of violence and threats to unalive. See, this is the reason why we're all confused about the judge's decision, because it was top priority. What was it Vegas says? Stalking, harassment, and threats of violence, like the highest one you can get. Level 4 or something. It was just like the seriousness of it was the highest one. So with it being the highest one, for the judge just to throw it out like that and say, NFA, without giving reason or any excuses of why it's an NFA, why they're doing an NFA, it's just baffling. So obviously, it's all speculation, but I think Kevin's a grass. Because look at the last time. Something was supposed to happen to Kevin, but nothing did. But then later on, it turned out his brother was arrested. So it does indicate that it's a bit strange that Kevin's gotten away with something and then his brother's arrested. Even I speculated straight away. You know, I put two and two together. Did Kevin grass on his brother? Because it does seem like that. And now this. Either that or Kevin's giving him something like serious. You know, for them to do NFA. Because it's not like NFA. It's not like charges. No, well, obviously the charges are not a drop, but it's not like that's not saying that he didn't do it. You know what I mean? Especially when there's video proof out there of him actually threatening Vegas. Like when, you know, the videos are out there, it's all over and done with now, but mind, will it not affect his appeal case? I'll have to ask him before I do actually say anything, you know. But, you know, there are videos out there of Kevin actually threatening people, including Vegas. They're out there, so, you know. But the fact that there's evidence, but the judge didn't even look at that evidence. The CPS, the prosecution, none of them looked at the evidence that obviously proves Kevin guilty. So isn't that what NFA means? It just means there's going to be no further action. It's like, not like he's been proven guilty or innocent, as he puts it. Guilty until proven innocent for some reason. But it's the fact they're just not doing anything about it, like no further action. You know, it's not like there's not enough evidence or anything, but he must have grasped on someone. Must have. Is now, because there's also a lot of speculation about what Tan Tuna Can's doing. Because there is some people out there that's believing her. She's done a part 2 to her Instagram post, and I'm going to do a reaction. Because she sees some things that she sees. And obviously it's all to do with Bird, when he was battling Birdman. Kevin apparently allowed, you know them bot accounts, the bot comments that he's been getting. Well, they switched it up to something about her, and she obviously wasn't happy about it, so she messaged him and told him, turn sub only live on, because they're mentioning me. Not the fact that, you know, of everything else that they've mentioned, just she demanded him turn sub only chat on, or sub only live on, but he refused, because he doesn't help his account. So she messaged Birdman and told Birdman, but she wasn't expecting Birdman to tell Kevin. So that's obviously caused a bit of a rift. But it's just with their MO, you can't really trust anything they say, obviously. But it's just some things she says, you want to believe it. You know, because she's in a position of being girlfriend or ex-girlfriend or whatever, to know certain things. And apparently she has got a lot of evidence, been collecting a lot of evidence against Kevin for some strange reason. And that she threatened him to post everything online, and he begged her not to, apparently, because what he's supposedly done is a guaranteed one-way ticket to prison, and he knows it. So she's contemplating whether to post stuff or not. But again, just with the MO, the fake breaks up and anything, it's hard to trust someone like that. You can't really. I wouldn't trust her as far as I could throw her. And that's with me bad arm. And me bad hands. But yeah, only time will tell. Because the way she goes on, he did something to her. And she goes on, that's the reason why he's got cuts on his hands. You know, there was a day when he had, like, marks on his hands. And he did something to her that caused the cuts on his hand. And she just goes on a rant. So she's indicating, or might be indicating, that he hit her. Or beat her up. And that's supposedly the reason why she tried to do all that crap back in late January, early February. You know, in the mental hospital, she tried to end it all. Supposedly it was his fault. But now when meds are working, according to her, like they've fully kicked in and they're all working, she's seeing clear as day. She's no longer in a position where she needs Kevin or wanting to help Kevin. She's going to take the energy that she's using to fix his reputation, which is impossible to do. But she's going to take that energy and work on herself instead of working on him, because he won't accept her help. I'm telling you, the whole thing's just pathetic. But you know, there's still that glimmer of hope, because like I say, it sounds too good to be true, and it could be fake. But right now, with everything that's gone on, people are just a smidgen hoping that she's going to release something that's going to incriminate Kevin badly. I find the whole thing ridiculous. Obviously, the next one's Zippy's, but obviously, I'm just hoping this one doesn't reflect on his case. You know, where he'll be able to turn around and say, "Oh, remember Vegas and how it was at NFA?" Well, here we go again. It's like now he's oh yeah, the whole reason I'd be telling you about Tan Tuna Can, it's he's desperate to get out of the country. He's begged HS Tiki Talkie that instead of paying him $5,000 that he supposedly owes him to pay for an all expenses paid trip to Ibiza. Flight, hotel, food, everything instead. But I don't think HS will fall for it. But yeah, he's just still desperate to get out of the country. And he's been desperate to get out of the country like now, like extra desperate, since she came out with that new podcast. In them Instagram posts. Because he would have seen them. He laughed on one of them on the part 1 version of it. He started he put the laughing emojis. But he's been going on all day how he's heartbroken and stuff. But I don't know why going to Ibiza would save him, if it is as bad as she's saying. Because if it's bad, then the police will just get a warrant to bring you back. In fact, they'll demand you to come back. Tell you need to come back and answer some questions, and if you refuse, then they'll get a warrant. No matter what country you're in, unless you're in a non-extradition country. Which Ibiza isn't a non-extradition country. But yeah, eventually he'll come back. So big wow, it's an escape for a couple of weeks. You've got it all to come back to, Kevin. And he should know the trolls and, people that spread awareness. They're going to go in extra at Kevin. They've even said, like, they're really going to go in on it, Kevin. They're not going to let up. Then why should they? The justice system's failed. So why should they give up if they're not going to make him give up? Because they'd be able to say that. They get arrested and pulled in for questioning. Well, why are you doing this to Kevin Wright? They just lay it out. Well, he was in court. You had a chance to stop him. He claims mental health and threats of violence and all this other stuff. And instead of saying, right, well, clearly social media is not for you, so you're coming off for your own safety and for your father's safety and other people's safety, you've NFA'd him. So, we're going to go extra. If he can get away with it, then so can we. Tit for tat. That's what it's going to be. But yeah. Anyway, how is everyone? You guys doing okay? And of course, this is the first video of the day. So you drop down below, you drop your comment down below. You'll automatically get entered into the £100 giveaway. We'll try and keep it upbeat. Try. And one of you did ask, yes, between me and Rebecca's getting quite serious. Like, quite serious. I will introduce you to her. I'll either do a video or I'll go live on YouTube. I'll probably end up doing a video. It's just a few years I've noticed the snoring in the background. It's when he has asked her, he is on the phone constantly. And honestly, not my phone, my tablet. It's the reason why I've not been using it, because I'm always on the phone to work or through that. But yeah, constantly. Ever since I got back. ever since I've got back. Just spend a majority on the phone. And half the time, we don't even talk. My tablet's just there, just on me stand, and we just not even speaking. Not on purpose, you know. Either she's busy or I'm busy, but you know, it's just we're on video chat. It's late now. I mean, you might be able to hear her snoring. I can't help that. My tablet's as low as I can get it, so unfortunately, I can't. I can't help that. But yeah, that's her snoring. Sounds like a motorbike trying to start up an engine. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about that, I'm afraid. But yeah, the majority all the time we fall asleep on the phone. I mean, I know it's soppy, can't help it, but yeah, I can't wait to go back. I'm really gonna rub it in, you know, like really rub it in Kevin's face. I've got an account set up and everything where he hasn't blocked me yet. I'm just gonna post clips and everything. Yeah, I'm gonna do exactly what I was supposed to do last time. But obviously, last time I would never really vlogged before. So, you know, I wasn't expecting. And around the airport, around all those people, you know, especially with the ones noticing what I was doing and staring at me. But now I'm a lot more comfortable, you know. Now I just don't care, actually. But yeah, I'm more comfortable. I'm going to do a lot more vlogging, recording. Why not? Anyway, what else was I going to say? I forgot what else I was going to say there. Oh, yeah. It's actually probably, this is where insomnia becomes a good thing. Because I'm falling asleep at 5. Well, between 4 and 5. And I'm waking up at around about 1 o'clock. So that's going to be perfect for next week. Because I've got to set off from the airport at 3 o'clock. I always like to get there a couple of hours early before my flight, just in case it changes. I know for a fact, no, it does. It happens sometimes when you're in the airport and it changes. It happened once to me. I was in an airport in America. It was Boston, and I was flying elsewhere, and they changed our flight an extra an hour and a half because I got a bit of compensation. But yeah, I always like to get there early. Even it's always been me. It's like appointments. Like if I've got a doctor's appointment or any other kind of appointment, I always get there early, like really early. And that's what's funny because Rebecca's the same, but she's worse than me. She gets there hours early, like I would when I'm going to the airport, kind of early, and she'll sit there in the car, like literally waiting for them to open, see if they see it early. Yeah, she's the same as me. Got a lot of doctor's appointments. I'll probably let her do a video, you know, introduce herself. I'll introduce her first, but obviously do a video herself and go through. In fact, I think she was actually on about doing her own YouTube channel. That was going to help her. Yeah, because a lot's happened to her in the past. You know, a lot of bad stuff, especially when she was a kid. So she was going to like do awareness videos and talk about it and everything. Well, talk about what she can. That's still not traumatic. But yeah, I might have her do a video. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so it's going to be actually quite good. This is where insomnia actually helped. So I'm going to actually get to the airport and I'm going to be feeling refreshed. Because what I usually like to do is not sleep for 24 hours. And then when I get to the airport, I stay awake, obviously. Get the first plane, which it's only from usually a short trip. So this time it will be from here to Amsterdam. And then still stay awake, you know, fighting to stay awake. And then on the long haul from Amsterdam to America, just sleep. So you sit down, they take off, they come round with your drinks very early on, free drinks, and then they bring you food, like more or less straight away after that. I would say within an hour, less than an hour, they'll bring you food, a tray. So I have something to eat if there's something there that I like. If not, then I ignore them. I just say no, nothing, and then I go to sleep. And I sleep the entire way. I did on my way back from Texas to back home. Even the smaller flights. Where'd I go? It was San Antonio to Detroit. I think. Was it Detroit? I'm sure it was Detroit. But yeah, the flight from San Antonio to Detroit and London to Newcastle, you know, the smaller flights. I fell asleep. I fell asleep on the long haul flight straight away. I just laid back, put my head down, and the next thing I know, the plane bounces and I wake up shocked. I'm like, what the heck? And it's, you have arrived in London. So I slept the entire way and I didn't wake up once. And that's the reason why I normally stay awake. You know, to get myself tired so I can actually sleep. But now I'm getting older, I don't think I can do it anymore. Like, I can't do all-nighters. It's a killer now. I used to do them all the time as a kid, but that was because, you know, work. You know, doing patrols and stock taking, stupid standing guard, keeping at your post. You know, you had to stay awake, sometimes for days on end. Well, yeah, next week, Tuesday, cannot wait. What we are now, Wednesday. Yes, I had to use my fingers. So 5 days. 5 days. Get 5 days out the way. 5 nights, and that's it. Oh, it's going to be so awesome. I'm going to record everything I can possibly imagine that I can think about recording. I'm doing it. And again, I'm not just going to post on YouTube. I'm going to post on TikTok. I want it to get back to Kevin. Able to fly to America twice in 1 year for months at a time. I'm going to make him really jealous. I think someone else is as well. But I think a few people are. Because I've seen a few videos on TikTok where they're standing outside an airport playing Welcome to Miami and they're going to jet off and post videos. Oh, that would wind him right up. It'd be funny. Anyway, there's your morning update. What day is it today actually? Is it Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. I don't know what I've got on today. Oh, I had a pizza in the fridge. We got a new air fryer. It's a machine. I mean, when I first got it out, you know, unpacked it all for me dad, set it up. I looked at the controls. I thought it was an air fryer, not a spaceship. Massive. There's like a hot plate on the top of it, where you can put the tray of food. Like you cook a tray of food, take the tray out, put it on top. You can keep your food warm. Well, where did you order it? Japan, China. Like it's literally a machine. But yeah, but pizza, I forgot about that. I was supposed to cook it last night, but I fell asleep. Anyway, I think I've gone on long enough. Let's get on with this. There are other videos, so I'm going to have to pause it and go to them because, like I said, I already done the editing. So I thought I'm not going to go into the software and have re-edit, just stitch every other videos together onto this one. It's pointless. I'll just pause it. Oh, wait there, let me get a bit close to you. Well, you know, I need to turn it up. Right. Right, he says there, I'm going to tell the adjudicator that they take 10%, so I'm owed even more. but I don't know what it's about. Like, literally. Nobody does. Because adjudicator is to do with court. So why is he going to tell them he makes that they take 10? Who takes 10%? So he's owed more money. But yeah, that's what he says. Look at him. Look at the state of him.
Kevin of a TikTok.
Why did he look like he was going to start crying there? Look at the absolute state. I'm going to try and... He honest to God, he looked like he was going to start crying.
Kevin of a TikTok.
Didn't he? He looked like he was going to start crying. Like he scrunched up his face and everything.
Kevin of a TikTok.
Yeah.
I knew.
He scrunched up, he's like that, scrunches up his face and puts his head down. He looked like he was going to start crying. Is that what he did? To get him thrown out? Just pretend to start crying? Because supposedly that's what he did inside the courtroom. You know, when the judge says NFA. Apparently he put his hands on his head and just burst into tears. Like he'd just gotten away with murder or something.
Was in. A quick insight. I'm at Willesden Magistrate Court. Mr. TikTok's case has been put off until 12:15, but he complained about me being a troll. So they asked me to leave. So, just a quick update. Just got out of court watching Mr. TikTok. His case was no further action. His case was no further action, so it was thrown out of court. He complained that I was a troll. I only just bumped into him in the court. He cried when the judge said there'd be no more action. He burst into tears.
Now, the reason why people thought this lad was full of it is because he sees he got thrown out. You know, once you get thrown out, you can't go back in. Or can you? I always thought you couldn't. Once you're thrown out, you're out. So it's like, well, how do you know if you got thrown out? And that's what people were hoping for. You know, in the comments. Hopefully that he was full of it. But no. Turned out he wasn't.
Literally burst into tears and buried his head in his hands. He's a wanker. What a little mug. But anyway, he lives in Strawberry Vale, so we all know where that is. So let's go and find him, hey? Let me find him.
Okay, I am fully aware of what I'm seeing being posted around online and all that. I will give an update shortly. I just need some time to clear my head because I am quite devastated by what's occurred today. I will go through everything and I will be appealing
Good.
what has happened.
Because it's really stupid. Especially when there's concrete evidence of Kevin threatening him. Concrete evidence. And he gets NFA'd. It's just ridiculous.
And when I do give an update and I will go through everything with everyone, you will see that how badly that the Met have been, the CPS have been in this whole process, and that how a defendant in the case has been able to get away with absolutely everything in this.
I mean, he has. Like, seriously, what were they doing? They cocked it up from the start. Right to the start. It's ridiculous.
I'm going to make sure it does get highlighted everywhere. You know, I'm going to be in contact with anything and everyone that I can to get this highlighted of how, as a justice system, not just myself, but all those others that have witnessed, been part of, having to deal with harassment from people such as the defendant.
Exactly.
And
look at how many people Kevin has actually harassed with the police themselves. Like that bloke with the glasses. All because he bumped into him in court. He's using the police to harass people, to scare people. Because what he's wanting to do, he's wanting to scare people. That's why he rings the police on live. So people screen record it and put it on the FYP. So they see it. It's like, oh crap, he's phoned the police about me. I best stop, I best run and hide. And that's what he wants. You know, when it gets too much for him, it's like he wants the troll comments online, but he wants it to stay online. And when it gets too much, when it spews out into the real world, that's when it gets too much for him and he rings the police. And he uses that to harass people and scare them. Because if you think about it, if Kevin didn't react the way he does, then he is a nobody, but he'd be like extra. It's like nobody, not like if the trolls stopped paying attention to Kevin, then nobody would. Like literally, if it wasn't for the trolls, Kevin wouldn't even get views. Because it's the trolls that make him relevant. If they stopped, like truly just all stopped, Kevin wouldn't be able to sit there, even with his supporters, the very little supporters he's got, and say he's successful. Because he clearly isn't. It's the trolls that are giving him the highlight. That make him who he, well, not make him who he is, but gets him the views, if you know what I mean. The 10 pence that he makes off the beta program, literally 10 pence, it's the trolls that are giving him that money. Because they're the ones watching his video. You know, saving his video but watching it. It's ridiculous. And that's why, and Kevin knows this. Kevin knows it, so he knows he needs the trolls, but it can only go to a certain, like, it can only go so far. And when it gets too much, that's when he does it, rings them. It's pathetic.
Other people are let down. I will fight this for all the victims. This is not now just a me situation. And the justice system and the Metropolitan Police do need to be held responsible for their failures. And hopefully, even in the long term, something will get done, it will get highlighted, and I'm determined on that now. That's going to be my focus. But I will give an update shortly, and I'm going to go through every little bit of information of what has been done to me, my family, and my friends by one defendant and his small group.
I mean, think about it. Yeah, the justice system, they failed a lot of people yesterday, but they really failed Vegas. And with Vegas's mental health conditions, if he could see it as that, they failed me. And because they failed me, I'm going to have to seek justice myself. You know, if he was that type of person, and go and seek justice himself. And when he gets if he ever did, and he got arrested, and he got his time to speak in court, why did you do it? That could be his defence. Well, you failed me. I needed to seek justice myself. It's ridiculous. You just think he would have gotten something. Just something at least. And not just an NFA. Even community service would have sufficed. Just something. Even if it's something small, it would have been at least something. But to let him get away with everything he's done, no. Completely failed.
Thank you.
There is more. I'll be back. Right, well, I've got to play this one because you won't know what's going on in the next one. But yeah, this is where he gives the false information.
Just to clear this up for Mr. UK TikTok. As you know, Kevin, I was in court this morning, and your case was causing alarm and distress to a minor. That's what it was. And threats to kill. It's a matter of public record now because it has been to court and it was no further action. So It's out there in the public domain. All you got to do is go on GovUK and look up courts and tribunals, and it's there.
Yeah, but it's not. It's been taken off. That's why everyone thinks he's a grass. Because at first it's been taken off for his own safety. Because, you know, he did a really good act when he accidentally phoned the police. But it wasn't. Because it was a closed court. But it had nothing to do with minors. And Vegas explains that.
I was hoping for a couple of days to deal with things, but again, there is lies out there, so let me give you facts. The suspect was not in court on anything to do with minors. There hasn't never been any case brought forward involving minors, and I do not encourage anyone saying or suggesting that. So
It's things like that would have ruined it. Not just the videos online that are threatening Kevin in the comments, but lies like that. And then that's why I think Zippy's now being extra careful, you know, on what he says. Because he doesn't want he doesn't want anything that's going to jeopardise his case. Which, you know, is understandable.
let me tell you the actual charges and what happens next. The suspect was arrested and charged with sections 2A and 4A, stalking and harassment with fear of violence. The fact he was remanded and brought to court on those charges by the Crown Prosecution Service shows there was enough evidence for those charges of what the suspect has done over the last 2+ years. So what is next? Well, next, when I receive the paperwork, will be to get the decision appealed, which I have the right to do, and will explain why to the prosecutor, why I want to appeal. This will put front and center where the failings happened from the Met and CPS. Now, I will be able to appeal as early as the end of the week. If enough weight and evidence is provided in my appeal, the case will be reconnected and be live again. The suspect will be fully aware of this too. If an appeal fails, I will go the civil route, as there is plenty of evidence and witnesses that have not been involved.
I mean, yeah. So, you know, he's going to appeal it, as he said. And if not, he's got a third option. Go civil, which I don't know what... Isn't that what Zippy's done? Isn't his a civil case? You know? But, you know, how much can you push someone? You know what I mean? Even afterwards, when he was told by the police, after he got arrested, and he went to court the first time, when he had to go to court the next day, he was told, don't mention certain names. And yet Kevin was still accusing Vegas of stuff. So he breached bail multiple times. And yet the CPS and the police did nothing about it. They didn't care. Like, literally. So for them to do that, he had to have given them something. I think 100% he's a grass. It just adds up. Nothing else adds up to how he got away with it, or how he's able to do things like breach his bail conditions and get away with it. You know, nothing adds up except that he's a grass. It's the only thing. But mind, then again, there is a lot of corrupt police officers in the Met. He could have paid them off, but then again, what would he have paid them off with? Himself. Could have given himself up, you know, like a night worker. But no, being a grass, that's the most plausible option. That he's a grass. But man, that just makes things worse for him. Like, seriously, worse. It's just going to make people hate him even more. Like, not being able to trust him. Like, seriously. But yeah, only time will tell. Only time will tell what'll happen next, or how far it'll go, or what happens next. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go. I've got more to do. I'll catch you in the next one.